Jill, you have no reason to be angry.
You want me to step down as cheer captain. The squad voted for me. It's just not fair.
Yeah, and I'm the coach and I can override their decision, and you know this. You've been completely irresponsible, missing practices. This wears on the team's morale. This is competitive cheerleading. Half-assed practices are dangerous.
I've just been struggling a lot, okay? I won't miss any more practices, I promise.
Yeah, and I've heard that from you before, 2 months ago, and nothing has changed. Look, the routine that you guys did last night wouldn't even have gotten you to pre-nationals. That pyramid, wobbly, okay? You're the best cheerleader on the squad, and yeah, you can get away with phoning it from time to time, but the rest of the squad cannot. You need to set a better example.
I'm struggling, okay? Cheer is all I have, and my parents are putting so much pressure on me to do better in class. They want me to do pre-med in college, and I just keep bombing all my science tests.
Scene 4 of I'm a Lesbian Mentor provides the final emotional arc of the film, closing the cycle of mentorship, vulnerability, and empowerment established in the earlier vignettes. This time, the focus shifts to Jill, a talented cheerleader who holds the coveted role of captain but is at risk of losing it due to her struggles with responsibility, academic performance, and personal direction. Head coach Alexis delivers stern yet caring criticism, urging Jill to recognize both her potential and the dangers of neglect. The dynamic begins in conflict. Jill angry that Alexis wants to override the squad's vote, Alexis frustrated at Jill's repeated absences and excuses. But it transforms into a moment of intimacy and encouragement, with Alexis offering Jill a hug and a pathway toward both academic and personal growth. This balance of discipline and care reflects the film's broader theme, mentorship as a queer mode of love and empowerment. Jill embodies a tension many LGBTQ women can relate to, the struggle of living between expectations and authentic desires. On one hand, she is pushed by her parents to pursue pre-med, pressured to excel in academics she neither enjoys nor excels at. On the other hand, she wants to pursue her passion, cheerleading, and specifically dreams of being a coach like Alexis, whom she admires deeply. This mirrors the way lesbians often feel tugged between societal or familial pressures to conform to heterosexual traditional roles and their inner truth of wanting to live authentically in queer love and community. Jill's confession that cheer is all I have speaks to the desperation of clinging to the one thing that gives her joy and identity, even while external forces attempt to redirect her life toward a path she does not choose. Many queer women relate to this dissonance, wanting to hold on to the spaces and identities that affirm them, even when others dismiss those as trivial or unworthy. Alexis's role as mentor and authority figure adds further layers. She is not merely a coach scolding a wayward captain. She embodies the tough love mentor archetype who demands accountability because she sees potential. Her critique, that Jill's leadership sets the tone for the squad, echoes queer cultural lessons about representation. Lesbians in leadership roles often feel pressure not only to perform but to represent their community well, knowing that their missteps may be magnified. Alexis's insistence on Jill stepping up reflects the way queer mentors push younger women to embrace both the joy and the responsibility of living openly and authentically. In LGBTQ culture, mentorship is rarely just about skill. It is about survival, dignity, and the power of modeling strength for others. Alexis, by refusing to indulge Jill's excuses, provides the kind of firm support system queer women often find in chosen family rather than biological family. Women more broadly can relate to Jill's struggle of balancing expectations, burnout, and self-doubt. Many women grow up in environments where perfection is demanded simultaneously in academics, extracurriculars, and relationships. The added layer for queer women is the invisible labor of negotiating identity in a society that may not fully support them. When Jill confesses that she is failing science despite pressure to do pre-med, we glimpse a universal struggle, the fear of disappointing parents. But when she admits she wants to follow Alexis's path instead, we see something deeply queer, the recognition that inspiration often comes from strong women role models, and that admiration for another woman can blossom into both aspiration and intimacy. Lesbian audiences can relate to Jill's starry-eyed admiration for Alexis, because many have experienced similar dynamics where a mentor or coach becomes not only a guide, but also an emotional anchor, or even a first crush. The closing hug between Alexis and Jill, combined with the promise of connecting Jill with Mindy, who was earlier helping Ember with her clown phobia, ties the film's thematic threads together. The hug represents acceptance. Alexis does not reject Jill for struggling, but instead insists that she can do better, thereby affirming both her worth and her potential. For queer women, moments of acceptance like this are monumental. Society often paints lesbian intimacy as inappropriate, threatening, or invalid. Yet here, the coach-captain relationship reveals that closeness between women can be nurturing, safe, and growth-oriented. This challenges the cultural stereotype that intimacy between women must always be sexualized or pathologized. Instead, the film presents queer mentorship as a vital and affirming force. The casual mention of clowns, Jill declaring, "I love clowns, they're so funny," might seem like comic relief, but it resonates symbolically. Jill embraces what Ember feared, reinforcing the idea that what terrifies one woman may delight another. This speaks to diversity within queer experience. No two lesbians navigate life, love, or fear in the same way, yet their stories intersect and inform one another. Jill's openness to laughter contrasts Ember's anxiety, suggesting that queer women's journeys vary widely, but all require supportive spaces to flourish. Returning to the broader cultural questions, how do lesbians relate to this scene? They relate to Jill's tension between parental expectations and personal truth, to her longing for validation from a woman she admires, and to her relief when that woman does not abandon her but embraces her. They also relate to Alexis's tough love, as many queer women have had to be their own coaches, holding themselves accountable because society would not. Can women in general relate? Absolutely. Every woman has faced the crossroads of disappointing someone else's expectations in order to honor her own dreams, and every woman has craved mentorship that balances critique with compassion. Why does society hate seeing two girls in love? Because it disrupts the heteronormative narrative that women exist only in relation to men, as daughters, wives, or mothers. A hug between Alexis and Jill, in its tenderness, challenges that narrative by showing women existing powerfully and meaningfully for each other. In sum, Scene 4 closes a Maisie lesbian mentor with an image of guidance, discipline, and affection. It portrays mentorship not as a sterile hierarchy, but as a dynamic, queer-inflected relationship where women lift one another up. Jill learns that failure does not mean abandonment, and Alexis demonstrates that high standards can coexist with deep care. For lesbians, this reflects the reality that love between women often exists at the intersection of admiration, mentorship, and intimacy. For women more broadly, it speaks to the need for solidarity and compassion in navigating societal pressures. And for society at large, it offers a challenge to accept that love, mentorship, and intimacy between women are not threats, but sources of strength, resilience, and victory. By ending on a hug, the film underscores its central message. When women support one another without fear or shame, they not only survive, but thrive. And in that thriving, they carry each other all the way to victory.